Even if you ain't want to respect the game, it's some type of you gonna have to respect the game at some point. Oh man, there ain't no successes, man. Like I heard this remedy, man. You either slang crack rock or got a wicked jump shot. You feel me? And that's what and that's what come out of the hood. That's the only thing gonna get you up out of the hood. Oh man, there ain't no successes, man. Like
Listen carefully. Ain't no successes. There's no successes. Remember that. And here's the solution.
I heard this remedy, man. You either
He heard this remedy. He heard this remedy. Probably from other people like him. Let's see what that remedy is.
you gonna have to respect the game at some point. Oh man, there ain't no successes, man. Like I heard this remedy, man. You either slang crack rock or got a wicked jump shot.
You either sling crack rocks or have a wicked jump shot. Now let's recap. Ain't no successes coming out the hood. I heard this remedy from other people in the hood. You either have to have a wicked jump shot or sling crack rocks. Let me guess. Did that remedy come from somebody that was slinging crack rocks? Somebody that was selling dope and looking to make justification for why he has no option other than to sell dope or be a professional basketball player, basically. Come on now. Do you believe that? Of course, now this guy right here, he is a barber. And he goes on to say that the other option is what he's doing. So there's three options. Slinging crack rock, being a drug dealer, or being good enough to be a professional basketball player, or doing what he does, cut hair. Anyway.
You feel me? And that's what and that's what come out of the hood. That's the only thing gonna get you up out of the hood.
That's the only thing gonna get you out the hood.
You either got a wicked jump shot or you gonna be slinging crack rock. So that's the only thing gonna get you up out of the hood unless you cut. I sell haircuts, man. I don't sell no weed, no dope. This is what I do. I sell haircuts.
So that's the other option, selling haircuts. So you either got to sell drugs or sell haircuts or be good enough to be a professional basketball player. Oh my God. Let me ask you a question. How many of you watching this video have ever seen a homeless person? By a show of hands, how many of you have ever seen a homeless person? Is there anyone watching this video that will say, I have never seen a homeless person? How many of you have ever seen a drug addict? I'm talking about people you did not know. People who you did not know the history of. You just saw them and you knew they were homeless. You saw them, you knew they were a drug addict. How many of you have ever seen a homosexual? A man who was gay? I'm not talking about somebody you know or somebody you know something about. How many of you have ever been someplace in public and you saw a man or someone of the male species and you said to yourself, he's a homosexual. He's gay. Or a woman who was a lesbian and you said to yourself, she's a lesbian. Or perhaps someone who was a gangbanger and you said to yourself, that's a gangbanger. Or a thug and you said to yourself, that's a thug. Or a wealthy person and you said to yourself, that's a wealthy person. Or a poor person and you said to yourself, that's a poor person. And okay, if you're honest about that, you've all made these judgments. You've all made these judgments. This is what we do. We judge people. And a lot of times it is based on our perceptions and our reality. Sometimes we're right and sometimes we might be wrong. But whether we're right or wrong, we do it. We judge people. How we perceive them. What if I told you, what if you didn't know any better? Let's say that you've been in a coma for the past 10 years. You woke up from a coma yesterday, and I told you we have a president of the United States. His name is Barack Obama. I want to show you a picture of his two daughters. And then I showed you this picture. Now be honest, is this what you would expect? Like I said, we judge people. We all do. Is this what you would expect? The most powerful man in the free world, the leader of the United States, and someone told you these are his daughters. It's more to it than the hairstyle. You see, because we're not even looking at videos or giving people an opportunity to, or giving us an opportunity to really judge people based on their whole behavior, mannerisms, the way they walk, the way they talk, the way they act, their behavior, all of that. We're not even dealing with all that. If you're honest about right now, we look at these images, you make a spot judgment. You can't help it. You're going to do it whether you want to or not. How many, here's another one. This is probably the best one of all, the best example of all. How many of you have ever seen a prostitute? How many of you have ever seen a prostitute? And I'll ask you the same thing about the prostitutes, about the homeless people, about the drug addicts, about the gangbangers, about the poor people, the rich people. I'm going to ask you the same thing about all of them. Did the prostitute have a sign in her hand acknowledging that she was, in fact, a prostitute? Did she have a sign in her hand telling you, I am a prostitute? Did she hand you a card saying, here's my card, and it said, hookers are us, or I am a hooker, I am a hoe, I am a prostitute? Did the drug dealer hand you a card telling you he was a drug dealer? Did the drug addict hand you a card telling you he was a drug addict? Did he confess to being a drug addict? Did the homosexual man confess to being homosexual? No. You made spot judgments based on your perceptions and your reality. Like I said, sometimes we're wrong, but let's face it, most of the time we're right. And the point of this message is, everyone, I think we need to ask ourselves, how do most people perceive us? You see, when you are from certain environments, people in that environment may perceive you one way. People outside of that environment, people for whom that environment is alien to them, they may perceive you a totally different way. And that's what a lot of people don't seem to understand. A lot of people don't seem to understand that. Oh, you blend in perfectly in your hood. But then when you go to a more upscale place, you stand out like a sore thumb, and even you feel uncomfortable with it. You know people are looking at you and not in a positive way. You know people are talking about you and not in a positive way. You know people are judging you and not in a positive way. Now, you can have this attitude that says, well, fuck them, I don't care. I'm going to do me. I'm me. I am who I am. Well, that's fine. I have no problem with that. Do you? Do you? I have absolutely no problem with it. Because you have no impact on my life whatsoever. The only purpose of me talking about this is to try to have an impact on your life. And if I can't, then so be it. But I tried. And I feel good about the fact that I have had a positive impact on the life of a number of people. So that's why I know it can be effective. Now, am I expecting any and everybody that watches this video to agree with me? Of course not. I would probably get more thumbs down than thumbs up, but really, I could care less. I really don't care. I really don't. Because the truth stands on its own merit. It does not need validation from you or from me. The truth is the truth. It stands on its own. And what I'm speaking is the truth. It is absolutely the truth. The only way out the hood, as though you have this something, some intangible force locking you in to the hood where you can't get out other than through what? Having a wicked jump shot, selling crack cocaine, or being a barber. Now, that's one person who said that. There's other people that might have a whole, they might throw in a bunch of other things, you know, like pimping and hustling. And I've actually heard people saying robbing, stealing, and killing is the only way out. And they literally said it's not that easy for us to get a job, so therefore we got to rob, steal, and kill. I've literally, you don't believe me? Do I have to show you videos of other people actually making that statement? I didn't say it, they said it. As ludicrous as that is. Okay? Now, let's do this. I go back to my mind map I created about a week ago, maybe 2 weeks, I don't know. I'm getting hoarse now. Starting from zero is what I called it. And I talk about different things, creating your own income, develop a needed skill, using your money wisely, use your time wisely, develop marketable skills, take advantage of free resources. What else I got? Self-improvement. Okay. So I'm going to play a clip that I already made about self-improvement. But right now,